welcome back to Learning with Estrella. Why do Spanish learners always confuse between ser and estar, and why does it actually matter? Because if you get it wrong, you could completely change the meaning to what you're saying. Imagine saying I am boring, which you don't want to say, you want it to say I am bored. But it was all because you used ser and estar wrong. In this video, I'm going to make ser and estar feel completely easy and natural, even if you are a complete beginner. If you've ever thought, I understand the rules but I still don't know which one to use, you're not alone. This is one of the main struggles my students go through when learning Spanish. But today I'm going to simplify it so you can start using it correctly. First, we're going to look at the verb ser. This is the conjugation table. We have got yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, es, nosotros, nosotras somos, vosotros, vosotras sois, ellos, ellas son. Which mean I am, you are, he, she is, we are, you all are, and they are. Okay, you've got it here, you can take a screenshot. And now let's look when to use it, which is the biggest struggle. What teachers usually say about ser is that ser is used for permanent things. And that is okay to an extent, okay? You can think of it like that, but what I've seen with most of my students is they tend to overthink about it. Is this permanent? Well, nothing's really permanent. So the permanent thing is just temporary. So what I really want you to think is that we're going to use ser for identity. Explaining to someone who you are. Maybe we could say, I am a student, soy estudiante. Whatever your identity is, you're always going to use ser. Even if that's temporary, if that's permanent, we don't care if it's permanent or temporary. What we care about is that if it's an identity, we use ser, okay? Next one, origin, so where you are from. These are one of the simple ones because that's never really going to change. But again, it's origin, where you are from, we're going to use ser. I could say, soy de España, yo soy de España, I am from Spain. The next use, we've got characteristics, what you are like. For example, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're smart, if you're intelligent, if you're beautiful, those, if you're nice, if you're kind, those are considered characteristics. So what we're going to use? We're going to use ser. So the example here is, soy alta, I am tall. The next one we're going to use is time. Leave me a comment down below if you want me to do a lesson on time. But if it's time, anything to do with time, we're going to use ser. So for example, we could say, es la una, it's 1 o'clock. The next use for ser is going to be occupation, which sort of relates to identity, but again, you could be someone, but your occupation could be another thing. Again, we're going to use ser for both, okay? So occupation, we could say, ella es profesora. She is a teacher, professor, okay? So that is occupation, what you do. We're going to use ser. And then the last use for ser is relationships. Who you are to others or any sort of relationship, we're going to use the verb ser. The example here is, él es mi hermano. He is my brother. That's a relationship. We're going to use ser. Perfecto. Well done. Now that you've done ser, well done, let's look at estar. Here are the conjugations for estar. We have got yo estoy, tú estás, él, ella está, nosotros estamos, vosotros estáis, ellos están. Which mean, I am, you are, he, she is, we are, you all are, they are. And I think ser is much more complicated than estar, but I'm going to leave that opinion up to you. Let me know down what you think. Which one is more complicated, ser or estar? Down in the comments below. But estar, what are the uses for estar? We're going to use estar when we want to talk about locations. Any sort of location. An easy example could be, estoy en casa, I am at home. But it could also be things like the food is on the table, the dog is outside, any sort of location, we're going to use estar. Feelings. And I always want you to go back and think about the question everyone has heard before. ¿Cómo estás? It's in the question, it has to be in the answer. So what does that mean? ¿Cómo estás means how are you? Because we want to know the feeling, what you're feeling like. So if it's in the question, it says estar is in the question, okay? So you're going to answer with estoy. You might say estoy bien, estoy mal, I'm good, I'm bad, whatever you're feeling like. But any sort of feeling, we're going to use the verb estar. Conditions, how something is at a particular moment. So this is where people say it's temporary, which it is. Think about the shop. The shop is open, the shop is closed. So what I always tend to say is it's not always going to be closed unless it's permanently closed. But if it's just closed or open, it can change. It can change from closed to open. Use estar. Another really good example is the coffee is hot. El café está caliente. Because it could change. It could change. Right now it's hot, but in 5 minutes it could be cold. Perfecto. You've got it. And then the last one I'm going to put here is action, because it links to another tense we have in Spanish, which is called the present continuous, but I've really wanted to do an in-depth lesson here on ser and estar, so you can finally understand when to use ser and when to use estar. Last use we have for estar is actions. What do I mean by actions? This is very similar to English. In English you would say I am eating. The ing, eating, you use I am, the verb to be, and then the ing. In Spanish we sort of do the same thing, but instead of thinking between ser and estar, it's always going to be estar for ongoing actions for the present continuous. If you want me to do an in-depth lesson on the present continuous, again, leave them down in the comments below so I know you want a lesson on it, okay? Alright, so the example here is estoy comiendo, I am eating. So, well done. Muy bien. I've just shown you the conjugations for ser and estar and when to use which one. I'm going to show you some comparison. If you've made this mistake before, I'm so sorry, but hopefully you won't do it again, okay? It's the same sentence, just when it's ser and when it's estar, it can mean different things, okay? So I'm going to show you some examples. We've got, él es listo. He is smart. However, if we use estar, it's completely going to change the meaning. If we say él está listo, it no longer means he is smart, it's no longer a characteristic, it's now a temporary condition, which means he is ready. He is ready. Él está listo. Perfecto. Muy bien. You're doing amazing. Now, I'm not going to leave you alone. Now let's do some exercises together. Número uno. How would you say I am tired? Muy bien. Estoy cansado if you're a guy, and estoy cansada if you're a girl. Número dos. How would you say she is a doctor? Muy bien. Ella es doctora. And number three. How would you say we are happy today? Muy bien. Nosotros estamos felices. And if you wanted to use the feminine we, it would be nosotras estamos felices. If you're still confused with this, don't worry, it's completely normal. What I always say is you just need to practice, okay? Loads of exercises and just continue practicing as much as you can. You don't need to be perfect, it's just a matter of practice. The more you hear it and use it, the more natural it becomes. As I mentioned before, you need to practice loads in order to feel more natural. So you might be asking, Estrella, well, how do I practice? Okay, so this is why I have created the Ultimate Spanish Beginner Workbook, where I break down topics like this one step by step with loads of exercises for you to practice, examples and real life practice. It's designed to take you from confused to confident. You can find it on my website learningwithestrella.com, or I will link it down in the description box below and as a first pinned comment. Now, if you've enjoyed this lesson and want to speak Spanish with confidence, make sure you subscribe for more simple Spanish lessons like this one that I upload every single week. If you're watching this, if you stayed here till the end, thank you so much. Muchas gracias. I'm so happy you liked it. Definitely share with friends if you think they would benefit from this lesson, and let me know down in the comments below what you want to see next, and if you have any questions, pop them down below as well. I will definitely make sure to read them. Muchas gracias, thank you so much, and hasta pronto. Nos vemos la semana que viene. See you next week. Adiós.